Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in to part 2 of our BeachRC.com product review. I made it out here to Badlands RC Supercross track, where we have a big field, a big giant parking lot, and of course we got the sweet off-road track. It rained pretty hard yesterday, so track doesn't actually look bad. I only need to run it out there a little bit. I got plenty of parking lot just to bash this thing, turn it on. I got plenty of field to go play in, try to stay away from some of these mud puddles. Yeah, we're gonna put it on some dirt, get this thing dirty, just see what it does right out of the box. I have not put a battery in it yet. Well, I have not plugged in the battery. I haven't even put batteries in the radio yet, so I'm gonna take you along as I do it. Just turn it on, see what it does. Do I have to bind it? Do I have to program the ESC? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Got that bad boy right there. Yeah. Got the radio. Let's put some batteries in this thing, see what happens. All right, so let's put some batteries in this thing. Pretty simple, 4 AA's. Go right here. Just like anything. Can't do this. I don't know what to tell you. 4 AA's goes in your little ready to run radio. Should be able to fire up after that. On button somewhere, I see it right here. Boop. Let's put the battery in the car. Almost lost my body clips. We will be using the Nitro Pro 6500 milliamp 100C battery. It's a lot of battery. Hope this car can handle it. All right, here's the moment of truth. If you're new to racing or to RC, lesson 1, turn on your radio first before you turn on your vehicle. We turn that on right here. It's on, I got lights. All I gotta do, set this power switch. Oh, it turned on. We got power. We got power. Oh, it even goes and everything. Let's see what this does. I'm gonna put the body on and let this thing rip. Okay, I'm gonna give it the first bit of gas. This is the historic sit and get. Nice. All right, so it moves. I like it. Let's just go beat this thing a little bit. Do what bashers do first. It's the most important thing. All right, so that's a little bit of playing around, bashing in the grass. Did some off-road, did some parking lot running. Don't think we broke it yet. Now it's time to go hit this mud pit of a track. Let's see what we can do on this bad boy. There it is. It's messy. I'm messy. Sweaty. It's hot out here. So far this thing has held up pretty well. Nothing broke. It seemed to have pretty good power even with all the mud stuck on it. What I did notice is the servo, it don't want to turn much. It's kind of on the weak side. I'm gonna have to replace that immediately. I would have done it anyway. So let's take this thing home, clean it up. And there you go, guys. Ran 2 full battery packs through it. Let's go over what we did. We took it to a parking lot, plugged it right in, started right up, no issues whatsoever. As soon as we turned it on, we took off. Did some speed runs, jumped over some speed bumps. Pretty fast. It tends to top out on its high end, but it gets there pretty quick. I do believe this thing has plenty of power to get around any 8-scale track. However, it's not too punchy. Your average Joe or your regular first-time driver that gets one of these things, actually being toned down just a little bit, it's probably gonna make newer people drive better. We did off-road, bashed it in the grass, in some mulch, dirt. Even went through some mud puddles, so we tested its water ability. Tried to beat the crap out of it, had a lot of fun. If you're gonna get one of these things and you do not plan to race it, it's okay, man. It's a really fun basher car. We did hit a track with this. We took it to the Badlands RC Supercross track. It was the absolute worst conditions we could put it in. Nasty, blown out. Yeah, couldn't put it on any worse type scenario. Took it like a beast. We did not break it. Pretty amazing. So far, ready to run. Holding up pretty good. Probably had half the weight of this car and mud on it. It did seem like the servo went bad. Come to find out, the Ackerman screw just happening to catch the body, holding it from going to the left. Eventually would power through the body, but everything held up, nothing broke. We even did some first person view. Once again, it was really good, lots of fun. I think I got some good videos of it. All right, so let's go over some of the pros and the cons. The pros first. It did not break. That's a plus. As soon as I plugged the battery in, put batteries in the controller, turned it on, it immediately turned on. I didn't have to do any kind of setup. It seemed like it was bound and calibrated. Really easy for first timers to get their hands on this car, put a battery source in it, let it rip. Besides all the electronics, which are good, the chassis itself, this ready to run chassis, seems like a very good base to get started. Even if you were to replace all the electronics in this car, the base of the car is really solid. I think it has a lot of potential. Also, the speed, it goes just fast enough for newer people and I'd say mid-experienced people. Although I'd probably want a little more kick out of it. I have been racing for a while now. Once I have it set up properly, that it's going to be a good car, and actually going a little slower might help me drive better as well. But these little tabs I was talking about, I know you probably can't see them. You can adjust your battery forward, back a little bit. Even cooler thing, on the side, there's these notches. So if you put your battery sideways, the wires can come right out of the notches that are in your battery tray. I think that's a real cool feature. I had my wires coming up and over. Seemed real bulky, and the body did not want to fit on properly with all those wires I had on top. I turned it sideways. I planned on dremeling a notch in the battery tray. The battery tray's got the notch just for it, and the tabs to make my battery nice and tight. Lots of options you can do with this tab system in your battery tray. Let's go over some of the cons. Ready to run? Absolutely yes. Is this thing ready to race right out of the box? For new people or experienced people, no. It's going to take a little bit of setup so you can make this car drivable and make your first time ready to run racing enjoyable, and just give you somewhat of ability to drive this car the way it's supposed to be drove. Out of the box, I did not check ride height or anything, but I can see right now that the ride height was really low. I don't believe the ride height was right. The shock fluids, although they're I think they feel pretty close. I'm gonna go ahead and change the shock fluids out just so I know what's in them and make sure they're at the weight that I want. The diffs are absolutely way too light in fluids. I did find that this thing diffs out really easy. If one wheel's caught, the other one's just gonna spin and offer zero resistance. It almost feels like there's shock oil in the diffs. We need way thicker than that. So I want to make sure that this is semi set up to where I can hit everything and just drive around without barrel rolling or whatever. The servo, which I automatically expected, it's inevitable. If you're trying to be competitive with a race car, you're gonna want a competitive servo. There is a night and day difference between a high-end servo and a ready to run. Can you take a ready to run car that's meant for 8-scale racing and actually race it and be somewhat competitive, or just not suck because your equipment it needs to be fine before your driving skills can never do anything? So question is, can you race this thing and make it through a race weekend without having nothing but a pure headache? This is what I plan on doing. I'm gonna take this thing to race. I'm just gonna set it up, make sure the ride height is right, the camber of your tires is right. I'm gonna check all the screws. I'm gonna take each diff out, put the right fluids in there. I'm also gonna take these shocks off, put the right fluids in there as well. Just kind of set this thing up at a very good general base and give it an opportunity and myself to succeed. If this can be a ready to run that is a good buy and a good choice to make, it'll be game changing. It'll be game changing. People need an easier way to get into 8-scale side of racing.
They told me I wasn't gonna get far. So I told them like this, look. My adversaries crumble when we rumble. It's a catastrophe on anybody who tryna hate, come and blast at me. I've been in this for a minute. See how I graduated from rookie to beginner, but now I'm winning on the road. Backing up and selling our shows, but let's rewind the tape a bit and let them all know who came to rock the floor, Jay, who knocks the most. Willis. I creep up on the come up, whether they hate it or feel this. Next in line to come and battle me quick. Man, you don't wanna see me in this circle. I'm killing you, kid. Young Jay, I'm bad. They told me I wasn't gonna get far.
I've done just about everything I could possibly do to set this car up right so I can take it to a racetrack and put it on track and try to be competitive with this thing. I'm gonna give it my best shot. What I did do so far is change all the shock oils, I changed all the diff oils, switched out your servo. Got a nice, beautiful Nitro Pro servo in there. An Ultimate Racing 25 tooth aluminum servo horn. Let's take this thing racing. If you want to see me race, you're gonna have to tune into part 3 of this series. It's a 3-parter. We're gonna take it to a racetrack and prove, is this thing race ready? I know I mentioned in part 1 that we would be doing a giveaway. What we will be giving away is this beautiful thing to one lucky viewer. Everything I do to this car, everything I put in it besides my own radio, not giving away my radio, sorry, but this Nitro Pro battery, this Nitro Pro servo, any tires I put on it, and any other upgrades I make to it will go to one lucky viewer. How can you win this thing, you might ask? You're gonna have to tune into part 3 to find out how. We'll see you next time. Check me out when I race this thing. We'll be seeing you in part 3. Peace.